Do you have an overactive bladder? Do you feel like you're going pee all the time? Do you have to wake up a few times in the night? Well, I'm Lauren Roxburgh, aka the Body Whisperer, a board certified structural integration practitioner and a pelvic floor specialist. And I'm here to shed some light on this topic and help empower you with some great knowledge, wisdom, and some great practical tools. Now, the first thing about the bladder is that it's a storage organ, right? So it's storing whatever our body wants to eliminate. And so essentially, it can really be the structure of how our bodies are built. You know, when I was growing up, I always heard my mom say, I just have a small bladder. But it actually turns out that there's a lot more going on there than we realize. Now, one of the other things too, it can have to do with women naturally just have a shorter urethra than men. That's why we feel that pressure more often. And another thing is gravity. So as we age, as you can imagine, the rest of our body is dealing with gravity, right? Everything's pushing down. And if we're sitting a lot and we're not able to kind of process stress as efficiently, then a lot of things will just start to drop and the gravitational force will take over, which is why one of the best things you can do is do little inversions to kind of reposition the organs, which I talk a ton about in my Align Life Studio app. We have lots of practices and flows to help you be able to do that and to strengthen and reposition the organs and the muscles and the bones to feel less pressure in that part of our body. Now, another thing that happens as we age is our hormones start to shift. Now hormones are an interesting one because it's like a chicken and an egg thing with the hormones. So hormones, and specifically perimenopause and menopause, side effects of going through those transitions in lives can actually be worse when we're under more stress and when we don't have as much flow in our connective tissues because our lymph system isn't as efficient and our detox pathways are not as open and flowing. So we're kind of dealing with having more of this buildup in our bodies, which then wreaks havoc on our endocrine system and our glands, obviously, and our hormones in general. And so it can actually put us more into rapidly going through the stages of life, perimenopause and menopause. So the hormone issue is something when we lose connection and circulation and blood flow into our pelvic floor. And another thing that starts happening, obviously, as we go through the stages of life is pregnancy. Pregnancy can really do a number on our bladder and all of our organs for that matter, right? So our body is this miraculous thing. It can grow this incredible being inside of us. We have this portal to the heavens, to source. It's so incredible, but it, moves things around. So after we have babies, we want to definitely make sure we take time to let our bodies heal and to reposition the organs back where they belong and the muscles to provide us with that support system and the psoas and making sure that we're not stuck in an anterior tilt and having our organs shoved out and then our pelvis and lower back out of alignment, which then creates more pain and discomfort through our lives. So structural imbalances are a huge one that happens after we have children. But this is all things that we can totally bring back into balance with awareness and consciousness and true empowerment and connection and reconnection to these parts of our body. I've been there. I've been through all of this. I know exactly what you guys are going through. I have had incontinence after having my first child, and I went to my OBGYN and she said, well, sorry, that's just something you're going to have to deal with in this lifetime. And I said to myself, what? No, not me, not this board certified structural integration practitioner, Pilates pro, all of those good things, trainer, body whisperer, obsessed with the body and, fascia and our connective tissue. I was like, no, I'm not taking that for the answer. So I'm going to figure this out. So I went deep, studied all the research and have filtered it all out to be able to help you guys be able to learn about this, about your body. Now, another thing that actually can have an impact on an overactive bladder is doing a lot of manual labor. So that's creating more stress on the body. So anytime we have more stress on the body, our bladder can become squished and weakened, and also from tension and buildup and constant kind of holding in this area as well. And then of course, genetics play a part as well on, bladder. Like I said about my mom, she always said growing up, I have a small bladder. So I just thought, I inherited a small bladder. I don't feel that at all anymore after creating this program and this way of restructuring, rebalancing, reconnecting to the pelvic floor, which is incredible. So the tips I want to give you guys on helping you, well, actually, if you look up anything like any pelvic floor physical therapist or pelvic floor surgeon. I actually have a couple of them as my clients for that matter. And what we've come to is that one of the number one things we can do before you would ever do any kind of surgical procedure would be to do pelvic floor therapy. And the way I look at the pelvic floor is it's very holistic. So we don't want to just go straight to the pelvic floor and only work that area. It's very holistic because the pelvic floor is directly connected to the belly, to the diaphragm, to the lungs, and to the jaw, and as well to the feet too. That's another big one. People don't even realize that bunions are from having a tight pelvic floor, a hypertonic pelvic floor. Remember, a tight pelvic floor is not a healthy pelvic floor, just like the rest of the body. Tight parts of our body does not equal strong. Tight actually equals weak. Now, the best things you can do besides doing the pelvic floor exercises that I have tons of resources on inside the Align Life Studio or on my Instagram or more and more here on YouTube as well is doing the reverse Kegel. So if you're going to practice the Kegel, make sure you add the reverse Kegel to it so that you can have the yin to the yang. So you have the squeezing, the rosebud, and then the expansion, the flower. So that's going to build a stronger, more resilient, more healthy and happy region of this area, and also just structurally will help you release the tension in the lower back and help your abs feel more connected, and your posture will be better and you'll be able to breathe better as well. If you're struggling with pelvic floor issues, you are not alone. So many of us deal with the discomfort and uncertainty, whether it's peeing when you laugh or sneeze a bit too hard, or feeling less confident in intimate moments. These little worries add up, affecting not just our body, but our confidence and our joy and our pleasure in our bodies and in our daily life. It's frustrating when something so fundamental becomes a source of stress and tension and pain. But I have great news, you guys. My free guide, Restore Your Pelvic Floor, is here to help. Inside, you will find my 5 essential moves to help you reawaken and reconnect to your powerful pelvic floor and deep core, while also helping build strength, releasing stress, and boosting confidence. These easy and effective exercises are designed to improve bladder control, enhance sexual sensation and pleasure, improve digestion, flatten your belly, relieve lower back pain, and even help you tune into your gut instincts, so you can say goodbye to those nagging worries and hello to a more radiant, empowered, embodied you. You'll find the link in the description below. So all you have to do is download the free guide today and start your journey to better pelvic health and a deeper sense of well-being in every way. Another great thing that I recommend for an overactive bladder is fully emptying your bladder. Now, this is something that I know sounds kind of odd, but basically, our bodies are designed to go into a deep squat and actually come down all the way, and that actually wrings out our bladder completely. It's the same way we should actually be birthing children as well, because you're working with a gravitational field and then you're getting that full extension and opening of the pelvic floor. So you can do that. You can try to squat if you want to in the bushes somewhere. If you obviously don't want to do it outside, one thing that I've recommended in the past, which some people think is kind of odd, is peeing in the shower. So squatting all the way down into the deep squat as if you were like getting down into your garden, and then squeeze all of the pee out. And this is something you don't have to do all the time, but maybe you do it every once in a while if you're feeling that overactive bladder. It's a way to remind your body how it should feel to have an empty bladder. In addition to, working with repositioning the organs, repositioning the alignment of the bones, the bone structure as well, and the tissues and the muscles, so that you're not having that pressure down. And then, of course, doing inversions is a phenomenal way to help rebuild and rebalance the structure and alignment of those organs as well. Some people also recommend avoiding bladder irritants like carbon water or spicy foods. That's also something that you can look into if you have an overactive bladder. Watch fluid intake. Obviously, we need to keep everything flowing and the water flowing. Make sure you're getting the right kind of fluids, so you're getting really good minerals and filtered water, so that the water can actually, or structured water as well, so the water can actually truly hydrate you, give you that cellular hydration. Another way to get the water in the system to be like actually penetrating into your cells is through movement, through stretching, through applying, a roller or breath work or doing yoga or Pilates, and obviously rolling and rebounding to kind of let the water actually penetrate the tissues and move that energy through. Another thing that can be helpful, because a lot of times people that have the pelvic floor issues sometimes also have the issues in constipation as well. So upping your fiber intake can be super helpful for that as well. Now, the other really big thing for an overactive bladder and for feeling like you're peeing all the time, a lot of that also can have to do with stress in general. So rebooting your nervous system, just like we do inside the Align Life Studio, getting your body to go into more of the calmer state of rest, digest, and heal is a great way to allow your body to start to settle. So a great way to do that is to take magnesium before bed. Phenomenal way to really relax your nervous system and to help you sleep deep through the night. And also, there's even some new research on taking a warm salt bath before bed, because it warms up your extremities, like your hands and your feet and your toes. And that helps your body actually put the energy that it would use to kind of warm up those extremities into healing. So, and anything you can do to stimulate the vagus nerve. So one of the things I love is to do the belly massage with the body sphere. That also gives your organs a massage, helps reposition the organs as well, and may even help you pee out and empty your bladder more efficiently before you go to bed, so that you can actually sleep through the night and not have to be woken up. Because the best sleep is the sleep, even if it's only for 6 hours, the sleep that's just straight through, where you're not woken up at all in that straight through time. So hopefully this will help you. I know an overactive bladder and peeing all the time is a very common thing. Pretty much all of my friends have it, many people in the community. But now with this awareness, I should say had it, because now we don't have this issue anymore. We're not always running to go to the bathroom. Another thing too, one more little tip is when you do feel that urge, if you're sort of just training yourself in this new way, you can go ahead and do just a little Kegel squeeze, remind your body, kind of give it a little lift, and then do the relaxation. Oh, how did I forget too? Of course, doing a gentle bounce on the rebounder can help regenerate and reposition the organs and also the bladder. So hopefully this helps. If you want to learn more, be sure to head over and download my free guide. It's called Restore Your Pelvic Floor. All right, you guys, I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.